Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and what you're about to watch is a demo with Robert Geistlinger. Hopefully I pronounced that right. He is the president of Arcane Wonders, and currently Arcane Wonders has Call of Duty the board game funding on Kickstarter right now, and you're about to watch Robert take me through a full game to show you what it is like. And let me tell you, I had a lot of fun. All right, well, let's stop talking and head on over to the game. As a reminder, the game has 6 days left to go if you're interested in backing it.
So let's start you from the very beginning, which will actually be very similar to how the rulebook taught, because I wrote that particular rulebook based on how I teach the game.
Mm-hmm.
That is not even kind of a final rulebook. That is I made a rulebook because we needed a rulebook to share with people. And I was like, great, then I'm going to base it on the prototype demo. And I mean, the general idea is the final rulebook will still teach in that sort of way, where
Right.
we'll just teach you its basics first.
Mm-hmm. And it seems to be fairly simple. It looks like it's just a 1v1 hidden movement game, but it can be expanded to a 2v2 with 2 core sets, if I read that correctly.
Correct.
Okay.
I meant to make you blue. I need to go black for a minute because I accidentally, there we go. I accidentally put some cards where they shouldn't be.
No worries. Yeah, I was reading that there's even an advanced rule set, so I imagine it's not all of the cards and components will be used in a demo playtest.
Yes and no. So when I do these with demos for folks like this, I will start you like it's basic.
Okay.
And then I will rapidly escalate you to everything else.
Oh, fun. Okay, cool.
I find that's kind of, unless you've never, like, I did a demo for, I don't know if you know the actor, comedian, Greg Benson.
I've heard of him.
So he also runs a YouTube channel, Mediocre Films. I did a demo for him. And I realized that his knowledge of board games is next to nothing. We stayed in basic mode and just played that way. And he had a blast, and it was great. But I was like, I'm clearly not going to be throwing anything else at this guy.
Right. No, I completely understand. So I'm looking at your Kickstarter right now, and you've got about 6 days to go, but it looks like you've more than doubled your current goal, which is great. So it's definitely a thing. It's going to be happening.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
do you know how long it's going to take for production and all that to happen?
So right now, it has to deliver by September of next year. That's not even an option in this case because of the retail dates we have set with Activision.
Gotcha.
There is no room. It has to look like when we set the date. This is one of those times where normally we set a date. We set a date roughly when we think we'll deliver. This date was set in as it has to deliver by this date or earlier.
Wow.
That's legally not a choice.
Wow. Okay. Or bad things happen. Got it.
Right. There are contract penalties.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm sure the customers will be happy to hear that because, they want their game as soon as possible.
Which is why that's why you look at like this compared to how we normally do a Kickstarter, so much of the art was done.
Right. And
the devs were still doing things, and obviously, like what you see here, this is a prototype based on where they were at in April. They've changed a lot. Like there's new stuff with the ADS and Sprint, but for prototypes, there has to be a cutoff point where I'm like, look, I don't care what else you're working on. I got to make 30 of these. So, but then we just kind of had to stick with this as the demo, which I think is great as the demo. So,
no, I see that it has 2 primary characters, Shepard and Ghost. And if I remember my Call of Duties correctly, this is more of like Modern Warfare era.
So everything that we have for this first bit, for everything, is all Modern Warfare.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now we're pulling from all pieces of Modern Warfare, but it's all within Modern Warfare.
Gotcha. And will there be more characters? I was looking at like there's a blue box and a red box, and there's different characters.
So the red box is Ghost and Shepard.
Okay.
The red box, our blue box, is Price and Makarov.
Okay.
And then I would have the green, which is the one that then is also doubles as the 5 to 6 player. That's got characters.
I see.
I know like Roz, Farah are in there. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head all the different characters.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see a collector's edition box, and there's like...
So Collectors has the 4 from the other 2. But
Gotcha.
then from there, we have...
Soap and Farah.
So I believe Soap and Farah... Yeah, Soap and Farah are the green.
Okay.
Box, which really can act as a core box as well, but its primary intent is to be your 5 to 6 player addition to the game.
Wow.
Then Kruger and Iskra, Roach and Stitch, Mace and Roz, and then potentially some other surprises still.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, that's awesome. Okay.
But yes, if you just got a core red. You have Ghost and Shepherd.
Gotcha. Okay,
and
makes sense.
You have a nice little betrayal kit.
So it's a hidden movement game, and we're going to be planning our moves. I'm a big X-Wing miniatures fan by Fantasy Flight, so I'm familiar with like setting dials and revealing and moving. But it seems like movement in this game is simultaneous, so we'll be planning moves and moving simultaneously. Is that correct?
Right. So at its core, if we ignore all these other little tokens, yes, you would be planning 4 movement, and then one at a time we'd simultaneously make action 1, make action 2 out on the board.
Okay.
All of the other tokens is where everything else can come into play.
I see.
And then as far as that goes, while we're resolving those, if at any point, like, if let's say you were here and I was already, say, here, and on action 1, I went like this and you went like this, at the stop of that action, we have line of sight, because if any colored line can connect us,
I see.
We see each other. Even if we'd ended like this, that's a green line between us, or even all the way down this line. The blue. This is line of sight.
Okay.
So here, let's start from the beginning, just I can explain to you what you're actually going to do. Because the best way to learn this game is play it.
Okay.
And the best way to play it is for me to explain what these 4 tokens do, and then literally start playing. Don't worry about anything else on this board.
Gotcha. So it seems like this is my planning area, and that's why I've got a shield, so you can't see what I'm doing. And so if I wanted to move here, for example, and I'm guessing you can see what I'm doing.
I can right now.
Okay, gotcha. So if I moved here for move 1, that means do I have to move somewhere else, or can I stay put and sort of just...
You can stay in place. If you wanted to, you could stack right in the spot you're in.
I see.
And then you could stack, maybe you could turn, because this is not the direction you're moving, it's the direction you're facing.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, you could absolutely just do that. Maybe 1 and 2, you decided to look this way, 2, you decided to look this way, and then maybe 3, you decided to come up here, but look behind you.
Oh, interesting. And that has an effect on combat, I'm assuming.
Correct.
I see.
It has the effect on combat and could have an effect on other things happening.
Gotcha. And these other tokens down here, I was looking at them, in the rulebook and stuff. Do you want me to hold off on those until...
Yeah, because every one of those we're not going to worry about right now.
Gotcha.
Some of them are advanced. I've put one here that I'm going to introduce faster than the others.
Gotcha.
But for right now, all you really need to do is just plan out your first 4 moves.
Okay.
The only thing I always point out to people when I'm doing the demo, and this is the way I always do this, so I'm going to do this way, that flag point probably means something.
Yes. So I was reading that if you capture the flag or land on it, you get a point. And I think
Well, that's spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
Well, so you have to hold it.
Okay.
So you have to stay in position, but you have to go get it, claim it. Then you can leave, but you got to still be alive at the end of the round too.
Oh,
and somebody doesn't walk through it.
I see. You don't have to bring it back. It's not like a capture.
No, it's not capture the flag. It's actually it's the current in the demo. It's the demo variation on domination.
Gotcha. Okay, so just for fun, I'm gonna move. I think that is cover.
I'm not looking at you anymore.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm planning my moves.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So when I teach this game, we teach it where just plan out your first moves, and we'll execute those moves. If we run into each other, great. We will start a combat and learn how to do combat. If not, we'll do it again.
Okay. Makes sense.
I find when playing Americans, the fight starts almost in the first round. When playing British people, for some reason, I somehow have managed to get to round 4 or 5 before somebody shoots each other.
Oh, really? That's
and because they just dance around the outside for some reason, and I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
Well, we're a bit more gung-ho, I guess, you know.
I'm gonna actually...
And in case you folks don't know, your name is Robert, and you're the president of Arcane Wonders.
President of Arcane Wonders.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
One thing to note here is that when you're actually playing this game, that screen never comes down.
I see.
That is always up. Now, here in this basic mode, it doesn't matter. So when you're first learning the game, in fact, I think the way the rules state is that your first time moving, go ahead and put your screen down. So that way everyone knows they know how they did it and they get it. But after that, put the screen up, because later there are things like mines that are persistent and you don't want that. That might go round around before it goes off. And that information needs to remain hidden.
Yes.
So the joke I always say about this, and I swear Activision doesn't like this joke, but I like to tell it anyway, is there are two things. Yes, that means that people could cheat. They could. But to that, I have two answers. One, don't play with cheaters.
Yep.
Simple answer. Second answer is we replicated the video game so well, we brought the cheaters with us. Activision does not care for that joke.
Right. Yep. I'm sure they didn't.
There's also another joke I make about having a lovely cup of tea, and they don't like that joke.
Yeah.
I will not make that joke on your channel.
That's okay. I don't mind.
All right. And then the other thing to remember about those movements is obviously those movements only move one node at a time.
Gotcha.
And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and resolve them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. And since these minis don't have the little piece in them to throw facing, I just use the gun.
Sure. As the facing. Gotcha. So
for my first action, I went here facing down this yellow line.
Okay.
And you went there, so we have no line of sight. So we go to action 2. I went here facing down this line. No, nothing there. And then for action 3...
I stayed put.
And I misjudged that. I went here, but I'm facing down this wrong line.
Gotcha.
Which is fine. We still are going to have a lovely tea party. I mean, I'm sorry. We're gonna shoot each other in the face.
I don't mind.
So now you're gonna get to learn about shooting each other in the face.
Oh, good. All
right. But this is basic, so it's not going to be so serious. So the first thing we do is we just see if we're on target. Okay. You are facing down this blue line, correct?
Correct.
So you're on target. So if you look right here on the tactical track, there's a little on target, has 2 little arrows. That means you're going to move up 2 on the tactical track.
Okay. And the tactical track is like an extra damage that you get?
Yep, just straight extra damage. And that's 2 spaces.
2 spaces. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. All right. Then we look for cover down the line that's connecting us specifically.
Okay.
And you have it connected to your node. I do not. You get a cover token.
Oh. It's like
you take one of these tokens right here.
I see.
And place it right here so that it's a reminder that you'll have it during combat.
And that's extra defense against your shot.
Yep.
Okay.
Extra defense. Okay. Then the last thing we need to do is, before we start picking our cards and stuff, is range. We are how many nodes away from each other?
1, so that would be close range.
Yep, so that's going to be the bottom track, and you'll have a starting spot for that.
I see. So that aim marker goes on the little bullseye symbol?
Yep.
Okay.
Right there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're each going to pick 1 combat card and a pool of dice. So let me explain the cards real quick to you. I've got 3 here. Actually, I'll use their 3 since I assume your camera is probably more pointed on your side. So these are your basic cards. These don't do anything else other than they have a little firepower meter and they have some bonuses.
Okay.
The firepower meter, you'll notice these colors happen to match up to the colors on your weapon board.
Correct.
That is because wherever this little cube ends up, that's how much damage your weapon's going to do in firepower.
I see.
The bonuses are going to be little extra bonuses, which are going to make a lot more sense here after I explain to you the dice pool.
Okay.
So each weapon has a little different dice pool. These two weapons in the prototype are actually kind of meant to be a little closer to each other.
I see.
But sometimes they can be wildly different. But you are going to, no matter what, from your pool, you're going to make a hand of exactly 7 dice every time. The 3 types of dice you have to choose from. You have your aim dice. These are taking time, getting that shot just right. You know, they're going to move you up this track.
I see. That's how I get more damage. I get it. Mm-hmm.
That's how you're going to go up this track for this, in the same way that icon on this card would do it. Then you've got your agile dice. Agile dice contribute to your defense, just like cover does. Okay. They're going to move your opponent down their track. Oh. So that's you dodging out of the way. Also got some lightning bolts, so they're speed. They're in different places. Whoever has the most of those is going to get first strike. They're going to get one more spot on the tactical track at the beginning. Okay. And then finally, we have aggressive dice. This is just spraying bullets. Okay. Spray and pray, right? You're hoping the bullets hit, but when they hit hard, right? They're just straight damage added to the end total. However, they have a risk to them. Oh, good. Because if your opponent manages to take you all the way down to this little black space, you critically miss. And all of your red dice do nothing. I see. They're completely negated. So when you're creating your 7 dice pool, you kind of have a choice to make. Do I want to go more damage? Do I want to risk it? Do I want to add more blue or green dice in there for defense, blue for offense? Interesting. And it's also thinking about what your opponent might be doing in their particular situation, their play style. I know that you've already got a nice defensive position. I know that you've got a little extra damage. You might go crazy on the aim. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. So you're going to pick one of the cards from your hand secretly. You can flip it in your hand, drop it down. You want to put it right here or wherever. This is where you normally put it. Secretly set aside your 7 dice that you want to keep. And when we're ready, we'll both reveal both of those. In case you haven't done this, something I always point out, and you can change this later. Yep. If you go into the menu of Tabletop Simulator and go to Configuration. Okay. Go to Interface. Yep. Miscellaneous Settings. Scroll down until you see Hidden Zone, Show, and Hide Opacity. If you bump those down to 0, it'll get rid of that blue haze over your entire hidden zone. Let me see if I can find it. I see it. So yeah, 0.25. Okay, so on both, on show and hide. Yeah, if you bring both down, then that way it doesn't show that. And as long as you keep it, so I put a red box here. This is why you would change it later. As long as you keep things inside of the box around your stuff, it's hidden. That's so much nicer. It's so much. So on most of my mods, I actually write a ton of custom code to not use their hidden zones. But for a prototype demo, I wasn't going to mess around with that. No, I don't blame you. All right. So just out of curiosity, there is a bonus symbol that I'm not familiar with. Looks like there's a plus sign in the middle with an orange and a red. Yeah. Does that mean I get an additional... If you look at your tactical track, you'll see it there. I see. Okay. So if I pick that card, I'll be able to move my marker up by 1 more. That's exactly what that one does. I see. Okay. Wow. I don't really know what to do, so... I know. I always tell people, your first time, just pick some stuff. All right, yeah. I think I'll just do that one and hope for the best. And then I got to pick my dice. So, all right. Let's go. And I need 7 of them. Yep. Wow. Actually, what you think I'm gonna do? Who knows? Yeah. Okay. I think I got it, but I'm not 100% on this. But actually, all right. So when you're ready, take your 7 dice, put your card down face down, then take your dice and pull them out.
Okay, so dice
And then
are...
roll them.
Okay.
That was a crappy roll for me. That is not... And then flip your card.
Oop.
That is not going to work out what I wanted it to do. You got your dice out and rolled. All right, so now we're just going to do some quick looking at things. So the first thing we do is we look for the speed symbols.
Okay.
You have how many lightning bolts between your card and your dice?
I have 5.
I have 1. So you have first strike. So you go up by 1 on the tactical track.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right. Now, how many aim symbols do you have shown? Wow, we picked the same card, and you're about to kick my butt.
Nah, I doubt that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe.
You have 8 aims, and I have exactly 1 defense, so you will go up on that track by 7.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I subtract my aim from your defense.
My defense from your aim.
Okay,
Yeah.
from your green die. Gotcha. I see it now. Okay,
Yeah.
so I go up
So you
to
go
7.
up by 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
And then my poorly rolled aim is 4, 6, 7, and then you give me your defense total,
Okay.
including your cover.
So 2, 5, 7.
And I was going up by 7, so I don't move at all.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I stay in place, and now we just damage. We just check our damage. So the 3 spots you grab the damage, provided you didn't critically miss, are the number on this track,
Okay.
the number that equates from the card, and then any red dice.
Sounds like 23. So 10 from the card, 7 from the tactical marker, and 6 from the dice. So 23.
And I have a whopping 4.
4. Okay. Well, I guess
I feel
beginner's luck.
I went heavy on aim, but they rolled so bad for me. And I was in such a disadvantage anyway going into that fight.
Yeah, sorry.
You pulled 7 just from the tack track. I thought about going heavy defense, but that would really have been just to try to wound you. So I'm going to die immediately. This happens right away.
Oh, I see.
I'm off the board.
So the winner of the combat gets to, the winner of the combat stays, the loser dies immediately. There's no like injury.
No, there's no injury in terms of that. So you get a point, which I just gave you.
Okay.
And then had I been within 5 damage of you, you would have taken a wound that would have impacted you later, but not anything else.
I see. And
you now have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You can continue the rest of your actions or stop after a combat. However, the thing being is if you choose to even do one of your remaining actions, you must do all of them.
I see.
Now, in the basic mode, you're probably going to do them. But if your next action was to toss a grenade where you think I was going to be and you don't want to waste a grenade, you might be like, you know what, I'm out. I'm going to call it.
Makes sense.
So you can complete your turn.
Okay, yeah, I can. I just stayed put this entire turn.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Already playing with a camper.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm an accountant. I got a camp. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, this is going to be great when I introduce you to recruits that you're an accountant. Okay, so now we're going to move into a new round. So obviously I have to respawn. The way I respawn is I will get to pick any spot on this board I want to respawn as long as it's not on an objective or within line of sight an objective or line of sight of anywhere you currently are.
Wow. Okay.
Anywhere else I can pick. And the way I choose that is I use my action marker 1 and I pop it down. I can't do anything else with that token. That token becomes my spawn-in point.
Wow.
While we do that, while I pick that, I'm going to also introduce you to a new token. Sprint.
Okay.
So sprint is a way to get around a little quicker. I'm going to take the rest of your tokens.
Sure.
Here, move them. By the way, these little minis here, and they're normally tokens. We have them minis here.
That's cool. They should move.
These are for your purposes. Some people use them. Some people don't. I sometimes use them to move around as I'm planning where I think you might be, sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
They're totally up to you how you want to use them. Okay, so the way a sprint works. So you're currently right there, right?
Right.
Let's say you wanted to, in a single turn, get to here.
Wow. Okay.
Well, this won't normally work because you can't put this 2 away.
Mm-hmm.
But what you could do is place this on the 2 nodes away you want to go to, whichever direction you want it to be facing, and place a sprint between it. The rule on the sprint is it must be facing towards the space you end up in.
Okay.
And when we're doing it out on the board, you will go there, stop, check line of sight, and then continue. If you get caught there, you will have a -1 penalty on your tactical track.
Only if I get caught there. It doesn't...
Only if you get caught there.
I see. Okay. Gotcha. So it doesn't affect my entire turn. It's just only...
Correct.
I see.
In the current version of Sprint in this prototype.
Cool. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to pop that back there, and you can go ahead and make your plans while I spawn in and make my plans.
Wow. Okay.
And you are one step to victory.
Well, it's beginner's luck, for the record.
It was just, these dice have hated me for days.
Let's see.
And to be fair, I really should have taken a defensive position.
No. Well, no, I think you're fine. All right, I'll do that.
I didn't expect you to take such a defensive position.
That's me. That like I am the stealthy, hidden sniper type from these kinds of games. I don't like to go out there. I'm very tactical in the way I play first-person shooters. But let's do that and do that. Okay. And I guess I got to take my dice back because I'm not using...
Yep.
And then this card that I used from my last turn, does that go into a discard pile?
Yeah, just pop that in a discard pile. In the current basic, you don't get another card, but I died, so I do get to go back up to my hand limit.
I see.
And we haven't introduced reload, so you don't have another way to get cards yet, other than die.
Other than dying, okay. Now you mentioned that if combat were at least 5, like if our final versions were like 5 apart from each other, the values, I would take a wound.
Right, and that would go here, and you notice it has the little negative on it. So if you were then caught in combat, you would be down 1. At the end of the round, it would have flipped over to 1. It's still the same penalty. The thing about wounds, it's not a health system. You can't take another wound token. So let's say that you entered combat with me with this wound, even at 1.
Okay.
If I were to wound you again, but you killed me, we could both die.
I see. Okay.
At least one person will always die in combat.
Okay.
But it's possible for both. Now, there is a very rare exception where both players live. And that is where both players critically miss and both do 0 or less damage. I have only seen it happen once in about 60 games that I've done so far.
Wow. Okay.
So it's rare. So I feel comfortable saying somebody's always going to die.
Well, it's Call of Duty. Someone's got
right.
All right. Well, I planned my moves.
Yep, I'm ready as well. So I spawn in and you make your action 1. I spawned in here facing down that blue line.
Okay. So I went... So spawning is an action in itself.
Yep, that's my first action.
All right. So I went down and I'm pointing this way.
Yep. My second action, I went here facing down this line.
Okay. And I went this way facing down this line.
Okay, I held.
You held, and I went up here facing this way.
Woo! And now the tea party happens. Yeah. All right, so walk through it again. We're both on target.
Okay. And now we have to... So if we're on target, we go up by 1 on the... or 2 on the tactical.
Yep,
okay.
Target 2. We are at long range, which does put me a slight disadvantage, but I can work with it.
So the different guns in this game have different tracks. My M60, for example, has a different track than your gun.
Yep. They have different tracks and different configurations of when things happen. So.
Gotcha. Now, I without trying to spoil too much, I did look ahead. It looks like this is the basic side of the gun. It looks like there's actually more advanced sides of these cards that we're looking at right now.
Which we're going to be flipping to pretty soon.
Okay, cool. Well, let's go with this one.
Let's see.
And then I'm going to pick my dice.
I'm going to go with that card. Yeah, I'm good with that plan.
Let me see how much that is. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be bad.
Could be. For one of us.
Yeah. All right.
Ready?
I got my dice. I just drag them out onto the table.
There are my dice, yep.
All right, so...
And I'm going to go up by 1 from my card.
Okay, and when you say 1 on your card, you mean, from that plus red, yellow thing. Okay, and then I got to roll my dice.
Seriously, why do these dice hate me?
Oh, no, dice hate me completely. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, am I Chris Kirkman? What is happening here? All right. So do either one... You have first strike.
Okay, yeah, I have 5 lightning bolts.
I have none. No speed at all.
Okay, so that means I go up 1 on the tactical.
Yep.
And now...
You go up whatever your aim is. I have no defense.
Okay, so I have 3, 4, 8, 10 aim.
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm in the red.
I have 11 aim. What are you reducing it by?
By 5.
So I'm going up by 6. Oh, so close.
Oh, you're in the yellow there. Okay.
All right, and now we just add up the damage.
Okay.
7, 14.
I think I have 14.
18.
Nice. Did you roll red dice? Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I went. Then they conspired against me, but they still got me to win. I just went spray bullets. I was like, I'm just gonna spray bullets
and hope for the best. See, I didn't. That was my. I think me not rolling red, I think killed me here. I should have rolled some more red.
All right, so you die this time.
I see.
You come off.
Okay.
I get a point.
Okay.
And I am going to continue to my 4th action, which was to move here and take control of the point.
I see.
Pop this. The round ends. I have control, so I have another point.
And the flag never moves, right? You just kind of have to keep it there?
Not in this one.
I see.
In the original demo, it doesn't. In the finals, it actually does have, after it scores, it moves to a new location sort of thing.
Okay. Cool.
In fact, I think even in the new basic domination, there's now actually 2 flag points you have to control.
Oh, wow.
But again, this was a demo.
Right.
All right, so now you will have to respawn in. But before we do that, let's go ahead and introduce a new piece.
Okay.
And I'm going to swap out here because this one is you haven't played before. This is the easier one to give you. Let's give you a frag grenade. So you're going to need that. And we're going to introduce you to 2 tokens. Not that token. That's the token I'm keeping. I'm just swapping the items out real quick.
No problem. And normally, from what I was reading, in the advanced version of the game, players will start with one of these items.
Correct. And if you die, you can swap out to another item. Once an item's exhausted, you don't get it back until you die.
I see. So it's a one-time use until you die.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So you have a grenade.
Okay.
The way a grenade works is that any of these actions, except for your spawn, because you're dead, you can take this and slot it in to the token. In the real world, you just put it inside the token.
I see.
Whatever action, it's not restricting you from moving with it. And then you will also, during the planning, need to decide where you're throwing the grenade. For this particular frag grenade, it has to be within 2 nodes of wherever you do the action.
Within line of sight?
Nope.
Really?
It's a grenade. So let's say you were planning it here. You could toss it here. You could toss it here. You could toss it here. But you do need to have planned that in advance.
I see. Okay.
I also like to refer to this particular grenade as the beginner-friendly grenade.
Yeah, I can see why.
Because this isn't the wording of it anymore. This is the old wording. Currently, it says enemies. Okay. In the actual wording now, it says operators, soldiers. You can, in fact, kill yourself with your own grenade.
Gotcha. So you want to
but not in this one.
I see. I see. On adjacent nodes. So I guess in the newer worded mode, you'd want to throw this 2 nodes, because if you throw it 1 node, you're going to kill yourself. To,
but it's actually a valid strategy to blow yourself up in the process, too.
I guess.
So, I have definitely got people near me and just dropped a grenade at my feet. If I'm going down, you're going down with me.
That sounds right. Okay.
All right. And what I've given myself is I have a mine. Now, a mine works the same, except for I deploy it in the node that I use it in.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, wherever I do it, I don't tell you. I will never mention to you that I put that mine in.
Okay.
I will only mention that mine to you when one thing happens. It blows up. Now, it can blow up because you stepped on it. It could blow up because your grenade damaged it, too.
Wow.
But you're not going to have any idea where I put it.
Okay.
And you're not going to know if I used it. You're not going to know anything. Your grenade, the moment you say, on action 3, I use the grenade, you'll show me where you threw it. You'll flip this card over. My card ain't going to flip over until you actually set it off. And even if I die, the mine stays in place unless I decide to switch to something else. Like, if I'm respawning, I'm going to come back in with a grenade. Any mines I have would come off the board at that.
I see. Okay. So at the moment, there's a grenade, there's a mine, and I see a magnum over here. Are those the 3 main item types in the game?
Those are the ones that are in this particular demo.
Okay.
The magnum is going to be added to Shepard specifically when we switch him next round over to his advanced side.
Okay, cool.
Shepard has a special ability with his magnum.
Yeah, you have this all planned out. It's like you've demoed this before.
Several times.
I can only imagine.
That's the first time I've ever played this. What are you talking about?
Oh.
I just read the rulebook last night.
Wow, wow. You're good. All right. So now I gotta bring myself back for one action. And I'm just gonna put my one move under where I'm gonna spawn.
Correct. You put it where you're gonna spawn, remembering that you can't spawn within line of sight of an objective or me. So currently that just means you can't spawn here, here, or here. Okay. Anywhere else is fair game.
Okay, gotcha. Ooh boy, this is.
Well, I really wish we were in full advanced mode. But
if you leave the position of the flag, does it still retain under your control?
Retains control as long as I'm alive and you haven't stepped into that spot.
I see. Okay, so interesting. Oh, now I'm seeing the whole psychology thing here. Like, I'm sure you know what I could, like, what's coming to me now, but now I'm thinking that you could sprint out of there. So, interesting. All right. And I don't mind spoiling my strategies here because
I have a bad habit of forgetting that the other player has a grenade and sometimes trying to camp there and eating a grenade.
Yeah.
I am not going to eat a grenade this time on stream. It is not happening for once.
I will be happy to oblige you on that. No problem. All right. This thing does not want to turn the right way. Okay.
That has been the turning point in so many live streams I've done of it. Where I'm like crushing somebody and then I get there and I sit there and I'm like, crap, I forgot you had a grenade. I just gave you a grenade, and I forgot. Benita took me out like that a couple times recently.
And you're doing that. Okay. One thing, I can't set the rotation. Like, if there's a move underneath, the mini seems to, like, want to face a certain way regardless. At least here. So...
What do you mean?
So, like, when I set my miniature on top of a green...
Oh, yeah, that's because the miniature keeps trying to snap to it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Hold on. If I go toggle, I think snap, I think it's something here. I'm going to not pay attention to what you're doing. Where is your mini? Where's this mini? Toggle, snap, toggle, snap. Okay.
It's no worries. Even if you did peek, it's a demo. I'm not.
I didn't. I kept moving it like this.
That's fine. I'm a super casual, family friendly, streamer, content creator, so it doesn't bother. Okay, so I did my moves, and now I have to pick a card. Right now, I died, so I get to draw 2 cards from the deck.
Go back up to your hand.
Okay. Interesting. And I have to set the card now? Is that right? Or is that later after we move?
No, we're not in combat. Cards are only for combat.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, at the moment, they're only for combat.
All right. Okay. So I guess I'm ready when you are.
All right. I am. So you go ahead and place in your spawn, and I obviously went here.
And now we're in combat.
Because you spawned in, there's no combat.
Oh, really?
Where I like to talk about this actually a lot in our streams, because this is something we debated for 3 months internally.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because in Call of Duty, you can obviously get sniped the moment you spawn in, right?
Mm-hmm.
In most Call of Duties, there are some modes where you can't. And we had it that way for the longest time. The problem being is we had to think about the fact this is a board game. Mm-hmm. And if you just spent all that time, you just died, and you spent all that time planning out 4 actions, only to die the moment you spawned in, that's bad. That's bad board game experience.
I can understand that.
We made spawn invulnerability to combat when you first spawn in. So I get to keep moving because combat didn't happen.
Okay. I actually stayed put for my second action.
All right. So for my second action, I went here facing this way.
Okay. So how did you move?
Now you don't have it.
Did you sprint? Or
I sprinted here.
I see.
And then I went here.
Okay.
So had this been a spot you moved to,
I see,
and not had spawned in, we would have had combat there. I'd been disadvantaged.
I see. Okay.
But because it was the spawn, no combat happened.
Gotcha. So you actually have. So you knew I was spawning here, so you're facing this way.
Didn't know, but you
got lucky.
It actually was not my. Based on the rest of my moves, this was not what I thought. I actually thought you were going to come in from up here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The rest of my moves are going to be going up that way.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I was trying to get out of any potential grenade coming from here.
I was going to throw a grenade.
Circle around.
Uh-huh. I was tempted to throw a grenade at the flag, but then I was like, oh, he can just sprint out of that. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now we fight. Okay. This time I'm on target and you are not.
Nice. Okay. That's bad for me.
Neither of us have cover, and we are at close range.
All right.
And now it's pick a card and pick your dice.
Interesting.
I have a slight advantage here.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. But enough that I think that card won't hurt me.
And we're at long range. Okay.
Short range.
Oh, short range?
One node. One node.
Yep, you got it. Yep. Wow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I got my 7.
I have my 7.
All right. This is not going to be good.
Still terrible.
Oh my god, I rolled so bad. Okay.
All right, I have 5 speed.
I have a 0 speed.
All right, I also get first strike. That's working out well.
Yeah, you're doing good.
What do you got aim-wise?
I got 8, 9, 12.
I am reducing you by 7.
Holy cow. So I get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that was really good. You must have did a lot of green. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I decided to play a little more defensive on that side because I knew I had the firepower advantage, so I decided I would try it that way.
No, it makes sense.
So I have 6 aim. To what do you have?
I have 2 defense from my card, but no, my green dice came up blank.
All right, so I'm going up by 4.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, just short.
Yeah, same here. But your tactical really, I think, pushed you over. I have...
All right, so damage-wise, what do you got?
3 plus 4 in yellow is 7. Yeah, you got that.
I only have 11, so I do take a wound, though.
Oh, because it's within 5 or 6? 5. Okay.
Yep.
So
you're dead, but I take a wound.
Okay.
And then, do I want to continue the rest of my action? I'm going to forfeit the rest of my actions.
Interesting.
I'm going to stay put. All right, so... But that is going to get me a point, and because we are playing the prototype, I'm going to get 2 points because I still have the flag.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now it's time to unveil some other stuff.
Okay.
So this will flip over, but I'm still wounded going into this next round.
Okay.
So I am going to unlock this, flip this over.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to unlock this, flip this over. I'm going to grab these cards, but don't mess with them just yet.
Sure.
This is where you're a little more experienced gaming. I'm going to throw a lot at you at once.
Sounds good to me. You ain't scaring me.
I enjoy the throw a lot at once. Okay, so I'm going to move over to your side here. Okay.
All right.
So first off, you are now on the advanced side for Shepard. That means you also, in addition to your grenade, always have your Magnum with you.
Okay.
What's great about Shepard's Magnum... happened.
I didn't do it, I swear.
Okay. What reverse time is for. All right. You're always going to have your Magnum.
Uh-huh.
What your Magnum does for Shepard is if you enter the same space as me...
Okay.
Before we have combat, you get to shoot me in the face.
Ooh.
Which I'm going to point out to you, should you plan this out well, you could kill me before combat started because I already have a wound on me.
I see. Okay.
All right. So that's your Magnum. That's your first thing. Additionally, your M60, it's a little heavier. It's going to allow you to carry 2 sprint tokens from now on. So now you can play up to 2 sprints in a turn. Also opened up is a reload. Now for your particular weapon, that is a reload 5. And this just slots in just like the grenade does into the thing. Mm-hmm. When you use that, it allows you to draw back up to your hand limit, which in your case is 5. However, you will notice there are 3 negative symbols on the top of it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you get caught reloading with this weapon, you will start combat with a -3 penalty on the tack track.
Oh,
I have a hand limit of 4, but at least if I get caught, it's only a -2 penalty on my weapon.
Okay. And
all right.
The numbers in the upper left, it says rapid, aggressive, and accurate.
Ignore those.
Okay.
We'll talk about those at the very end. They are not implemented in this prototype.
Gotcha.
But we will talk about what they do because it's actually kind of cool.
Okay, sounds good.
It's very cool. All right. The other things that you should notice on this thing, because it's going to matter, is right here. You'll notice there is another symbol on your weapon tracks.
Yes.
That's ADS. That's aim down sight. That is this token right here. This can be slotted in. Now, in the current version of ADS, and we're going to continue to play with the current version, you currently cannot move when putting in ADS. So if you want to go into ADS, it has to be in the position you're already in, so it would be your next action. Example.
Okay.
So let's say you were, where are you at? You're here and currently, let's say you were here.
Okay.
And you wanted to go ADS here.
Okay.
You would first have to move there.
Okay.
And then your second action could be to go into ADS there.
I see. So it takes up your entire action.
Correct. Okay, if you wanted to go into ADS right away, you could do so with your first action only in the space you were already in.
But you can't move after that fact. You can't
Correct. So that's the thing about ADS, is if you want to stay in ADS for an extended period of time, you forfeit any actions. But you can you could go into ADS for action 1, stay there for 2, stay there 3. So don't play those. And then maybe you move out in action 4 and get out of ADS.
I see.
So you can manipulate that however you want. Okay. So that's going to be your ADS token. And I mention it special because it has changed since this version, and you actually can now move into ADS, but ADS works very differently now, so I don't want to complicate it. Oh, all right. Fine. Next up, we're going to look at some cards.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to pull out a couple special ones. That's a good one. And then one more. We'll shuffle these back up in a minute.
Sure.
Ooh, pull a card. There we go. Okay. So these are advanced. Now, they're not badged, but they are advanced cards.
Okay.
These are going to shuffle into your deck. So this first one right here, the top of it looks just like your basic cards, except it has some additional text at the bottom. That text has no symbol next to it. It'll just happen during the combat.
Okay.
This would have been a great card for me last round. I could have avoided the wound.
I see. Mm-hmm.
This one, Heroic Charge, the top of it, again, can be used as a combat. However, this little symbol here, this card can be put face down while you're planning.
Okay.
And then revealed at the start, and this is the one that has the ongoing. It lasts for an entire round. You reveal at the start of the round that you played this, and you get that effect the entire round. You are giving up all of its combat stuff, though.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. The last one is a tactical action. This one has to be planned as well, but it has to be planned using this token. So you plot this token into the action marker you want to do this card, and then put this card face down, and when you get to that action, reveal this card.
Okay.
All right?
Gotcha. And the tactic, that takes the place of an action, or is that like an addition?
It adds to it. You can still move. It becomes part of it. Only ADS. ADS is the only one currently that you cannot move while taking it.
So it's like an item then, where you can... Okay.
Correct. Now, I will tell you, there happens to be a tactical card that lets you break the rule about ADS.
I'm sure.
All right. So I'm going to shuffle these up.
Okay.
Since you are dead, you can go ahead and draw up to your full hand limit of 5.
5. Okay.
We're not going to introduce these yet. We're going to play one round there, and then I'm going to introduce you to Kevin from accounting.
Oh, okay. That's my buddy.
That's going to be that's what I've named the blue one.
Okay.
I've given each of them names. Blue one I've named Kevin from accounting, and the red one I've named Tom Paris.
Is that from Voyager or what?
It is. It is.
Uh-huh. He does look like Tom Paris.
Who does like Tom Paris?
Yeah, I know. Him and his Delta Flyer.
All right. So now you have all of that available to you. So now the only tokens that down here that you don't have is Kill Streak and Recruit. All of the rest of these are now available, which now comes in the fun where you can stare across the table and say things like, I used all my tokens.
Yes.
And then say nothing. Or I like to be like, I only used one token. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
All right. So now it's time to plan. You are obviously respawning. I am obviously trying to defend my position.
And you're up there.
And this is where in the demo I've scored that twice in a row, so I am going to revert the flag back to neutral and make me retake it.
Oh, so you don't keep it. When you score
No, you do keep it. This is something I do special for the demo.
I see. Gotcha. Okay.
Because, I've played this a lot.
and yeah, well, you're kicking my butt right now, but that's
right.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And so I find that it's better if I give people a little bit of a...
Fair enough.
Especially since I know that that has changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. What am I going to do? Oh, yeah, I need to shuffle in my cards. I am not dead, so if I want up to my hand limit, I will have to reload. Where am I currently at?
So if we enter line of sight, but I have like an item tucked for that action, do I do the item first before combat? So
if it's a grenade, yes, it goes off.
Okay.
Well, you throw it. It will go off at the end of the combat.
I see.
If it's a tactical action or something, you would reveal it right away because it probably is helping you.
I see. Okay.
But yes, things like mines and grenades, if there's combat involved in the same round they go off at the end.
Okay. Wow.
Your Magnum being the exception to the rule.
Okay.
It goes off immediately, but it's not one that requires a token. And I should mention to you what my special ability is. I have Shadow Strike. If you're not facing me, I get an additional step up on the tactical track.
So you like to go around and get them from behind. Gotcha. Okay.
All right. What am I gonna do here?
I have no
idea. Oh, and you know what? Since I'm throwing lots of things, I'm going to point out some other stuff on the map. You'll notice that each of these buildings off to the side have a ladder.
Oh, yeah.
So this ladder, if you look right here, there's an arrow on it. That means while you're going up it, you can only be facing that direction.
Oh, interesting.
If you get caught on it, you do down one on the tactical track.
I see.
Also, you can never place a sprint token on that space.
Okay.
The one up here, this is a nice snipe point. As long as you're down that line of sight, you have a advantage on the tactical track. This arrow has line of sight both ways, but you can only move down. You can only jump off the building. You can't go up that way.
Okay.
All right.
Oof. I've got All right. So it all sounds easy, but when you're given all of these tokens, it's like what do I do next?
Oh yeah.
Oof.
I tend to think when I do it, it took me a bit, like, because I don't play a lot of Call of Duty. I find that people who play Call of Duty take to this so much faster and kick my butt.
I'm not competitive. I'm one of those Call of Duty players that likes the Spec Ops mode and likes to do co-op with other people.
Or that I'm a single player campaign guy.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed the single player campaign.
Which is why I've actually been doing a lot of testing this morning on the solo mode for this game.
Okay.
The first intro scenario.
So you could do that.
Not quite ready for prime time, but I had fun defeating Scout, so it was nice.
So all right. You have a mine. Okay.
I do.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe I have it. Maybe it's already out. Who could be sure?
Okay.
And remember that you currently can't respawn
next to
here, here,
yep,
here, or here.
Right. Fun. Okay.
That's actually why I chose to stop, and it had nothing to do with where I was ending up. It had to do with it limited your spawn options the most.
No, that makes sense.
It was a very tactical decision.
No, that's good. Let's do that. So for my first action, I spawn in. I assume I can't also.
You can't put anything in that token.
Okay, gotcha. No item, no nothing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to spawn. Now you do have the option when you respawned, if you wanted a mine instead of a grenade. That's up to you.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Just for fun, this is plenty. Okay. Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna tell you, I barely used any of my tokens.
Yeah, I don't believe you, but
actually, tell the truth.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Barely used any of my tokens. I'll let you read into that as you will.
Yes, I'm sure. All right, so that's one, and then. All right, so let's see if I can figure out. All right, and then wow. Yeah, I can see why this is so difficult because wow. Sorry, I know I'm taking a while.
Oh no, you're fine.
All right.
It takes some. Again, for you, it's because I've thrown 90% of the advanced rulebook at you in one round.
Yeah.
Normally, the idea is you play a full game just on that basic mode sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot each other, just have fun killing each other, right? And then you'd be like, all right, let's start playing with the items. We'll have those, and maybe we'll bring in recruits. Maybe you bring it in pieces, or you're crazy and you just put it all in at once.
All right, so I have to do that, and that was okay.
I'm going to tell you later about kill streaks, but we'll leave those out for this one.
I figured it has something to do with the items, but
no. So kill streaks based on as you kill, you're gaining kill streaks.
Okay.
And then, so like I have an airstrike I can call in. You have a little RCXD, which is super fun because it actually, especially if you put it in your first action, because then you just don't use the rest of your action tokens. And then after everyone else moves, you get to move the car to another space of your choice, not a pre-programmed thing, and kill everything there. You get to real-time hunt everybody on the board.
Oh, wow.
I love that car. But you haven't had enough kills. It does cost 3. You had to have killed 3 times first to even use it.
Gotcha. All right. I think I'm ready. Yeah.
All right. So you spawn in.
I spawn right here.
And I move to the ladder.
Okay.
And then go to your second action.
Second action, I stay put, but then I use my grenade.
Yeah, I didn't go that way. Where did the grenade go?
It was going here.
All right, so the grenade goes off. You flip it over. Nothing gets damaged.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Something did happen from your grenade.
Okay.
The mine was right here.
Oh, so it does affect the mine.
And damage, because it got, that damage spilled, you did blow up my mine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there is that. You did at least disable my mine, so I have now lost the mine. I don't get that back unless I die. And now, while I was also here, I also reloaded.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and grab my cards.
Wow. Okay.
And then for my next action...
My third action?
This is my second, sorry.
Oh, okay.
My second action was here, and then my third action, if we're on our third action now, is I went into ADS right here, and then I stopped. I didn't do anything else.
Okay. And then... well, my third action was just to move from here to here.
Yeah. And did you have a fourth?
A fourth, I sprinted from here and then ended up on the flag here, facing this way.
So you took the point. So you get a point because that ends the round.
Okay. Wow.
All right.
Thanks for being nice to me. I appreciate it.
No, I thought you were going to come up this way.
Oh, interesting.
This position has line of sight here, 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 and here.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's a lot.
I took a very snipery position.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you might come in on that side. You kind of skirted it through the middle. All right. Time to learn about Kevin.
Kevin.
All right. So that's going to introduce a recruit card and this recruit token right here and this token. So this is another little guy out on the board. You plan him during your planning phase. You put him anywhere on the board like he's spawning in.
Okay.
So following spawn rules, he does have a little arrow for his direction, and that's where he stays for that round, unless he dies.
Oh, so
the next round, as long as he's alive, you just respawn him somewhere else. He doesn't just move.
Okay.
You just pop him up. However, if he gets into combat with either my recruit or me, or a recruit, they don't play. They use your weapon board and your tack track, but you don't play a card. They have their own preset card, and they only choose 5 dice.
I see. Okay.
If they die, they cannot come back unless you die and come back.
I see.
Otherwise, they get to stay in place.
Do you start with these at the beginning of the game, typically?
Yeah. Yeah, typically we would have started with these at the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not wounded anymore, thank God. But yeah, so now we can plan those in. If you kill them, they don't get you a point, but they do get you a kill streak. If they kill an operator, though, the owner of the recruit does get a point, but does not get a kill streak because he didn't actually perform the kill.
I see.
So now we plan again.
So he has to... It's normal spawning rules with this game.
Normal spawning rules.
Okay. Wow.
Where are you currently sitting? You're on the flag. It's a nice little way to add in some extra targets. I like to use them as meat shields. Maybe try to wound you before I come in and finish you off.
I see.
I think Kevin's gonna... All right. I'm not playing with Kevin. You have Kevin. I have Tom. Tom Parrott's is going to take the position.
Gosh, I have no idea. Well, you can... Okay. So I'm going to do... Wow, he can spawn anywhere. That's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay.
I'm ready.
I figured you'd be ready already. Okay. Let's go with... Now, is it possible for the 2 recruits to fight each other, or is it only if...
It is. 2 recruits can absolutely fight each other.
And we have to reveal them as soon as the round starts?
So as soon as the round starts, we will pop out where our recruits are.
I see. Okay. In that case...
And They do not have spawn invulnerability.
Okay. All right, so let's do...
They pop in, they fight.
Wow.
Unless they were spawning in to fight with a player spawning in, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And... Okay. I think... Okay. I think I'm done. Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and place Kevin.
Okay, so I have to move him out. Okay, yep. So I have him...
No. Yeah, grab his big token.
Okay, I put him here facing...
They are going to fight right away.
Wow, okay.
And poor Tom is disadvantaged. Because he is facing... I put him there to deal with you if you went that way.
I see, that makes sense.
And you put him down here. All right, so they fight. So they are going to be... You are going to be on target... And you are going to get a bonus. So you're going to go up 3 on the tactical track.
I see. That plus red, yellow diamond. I see. Okay.
I do not have anything. I'm off target, so I'm at 0. They're just going to use their card, and we're going to pick 5 dice for them.
5 dice. Okay.
And they're going to be long-ranged.
Long range.
They're 2 spaces away because there's a space between them.
Okay.
That's not good. It's not good for Tom. This is a bad time for Tom.
I think you're doing fine. And okay, so I got my 5.
Harris would rather be on a planet as a weird, creepy, amphibious lizard with
Janeway. Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here's his dice. Tom's going straight out bullets.
Oh my, okay. That's good though. Oh wow.
Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's terrible, but it's not terrible. Like, I thought you would critically miss him. All right, so do you have any speed?
I have no speed, no.
So no first strike.
Okay.
All right. I have exactly 1 aim.
Okay, and I have no defense.
Yeah, so I go up 1.
Okay.
And I have no defense either.
I have 10 aim.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even close to living here.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm in the red area.
Yeah. All right. So I have 2, 5, 8, 9.
I have 11 from his card, I think. Oh, 11 plus 7 is 18.
Oh, yeah. Tom dead.
Okay.
Tom didn't have a chance.
No. Well, Harry Kim wasn't anywhere around to help him out, so yeah.
Yeah, he didn't help him. All right, so now we get to make our first actions.
Okay, I stayed where I'm at, and I couldn't remember if it was ADS, aim down sight. I think that should have been action 2, right?
No, it could have been action 1 because you wouldn't have moved. Unless you're turning, it could be action 1. In fact, my action 1 is to go into ADS right here. Okay,
yeah, I stayed exactly where I'm at and just did ADS. Like
the whole time?
The whole time, just looking.
So did I.
Interesting. Okay.
So you get a point. I was hoping you'd come out.
Well, you have the high ground. That worked very well for Anakin, just saying.
Right. Clearly, you're going to make me come hunt. All right. So now we go back. You will get to move this guy if you want anywhere else following the same spawn rules. You leave him there for now.
Oh, I see.
Because if I was spawning, I wouldn't be able to spawn where he is.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But other than that, and Tom is not coming back. He is dead until I die.
Oh, wow.
Look at my cards and figure out how I'm... Oh, okay. Got this. I know what I'm going to do.
Wow. So, okay. I'm not going to do it, but I did have a question.
Yep.
If I were to sprint to the left in an attempt to get here, do I let's say you come down here and I attempt to sprint to where you are for the first.
I would catch you. I would catch you.
Catch me in the act. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I was moving to there, I would catch you in the act.
I see. But that's the only place you can move, right? Because that ladder is a one-way.
No, I could go down the ladder.
You can. Okay.
I have to face that direction while I'm on it.
I see. Okay.
So I could come down either direction.
Oh, good to know. Okay. Wow. The choices. And then you're okay.
Kingdom for a tactic card right now. Don't have any in my hand.
Okay, I think I'm done, but
I am done.
Okay, I'll get these dice. All right.
So where is Kevin going?
I left him. Yeah, I like that spot.
All right. So my action 1 was to jump down, facing down the green.
Okay. I'm line of sight. I'm staying put and going into ADS and facing this spot.
So you're not seeing me for the moment. My action 2. Did you stay the whole time again?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm all right with that. So I sprinted to here.
Oh, for your first action. Okay.
No. So my first action was here. My second action was to sprint, no line of sight, to move to here.
Okay.
And my third action was to go here.
I see. Okay.
So you do have ADS, though.
Right.
All right. So we are close range. So since you are ADS, you will get to start here. But that's why I came around that direction.
I see.
Because I wanted to force you on the close range because you're disadvantaged at close range.
I see. The long range would have been... I see what you're saying.
Right. Okay. If you had went back to here and gone into ADS, that wouldn't have played out well for me.
Yeah, well, where was... Oh, are you allowed to reveal where you're... Paris? Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
I forgot about that. I thought he came
ideally,
back.
If you thought it was coming in from this way, you should have stepped back one,
gotcha.
Then gone into ADS.
That makes more sense. Okay.
All right, now we're going to fight. So I am on target.
Okay, same here.
No cover. You are on target. All right. And that's the other thing, is if I'd come in from behind, your ADS would have done nothing, because you have to be on target for your ADS.
That's why I'm hoping the accountant, or was it Larry? Whoever.
Kevin from accountant.
Kevin, yes. Okay.
All right, so that's it. We're picking our card and our dice.
All right, so let's do that one. And let's do...
Really wish you were off target.
Oof. Crazy.
No.
All right. I think I have all my dice.
I don't.
Yeah, take your time.
Hard. There we go. I'm going to go with that. And that.
So this is pretty much just, this is the last, because if I kill you, I get a point and I get the flag point, and if you kill me, then you get a point, and it's either way, it's to 5, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I normally do the demo to 5.
Gotcha.
All right, I got my dice.
Okay. Hopefully they're kind to me.
I am going out in a blaze of glory.
So it says I may discard a card to gain a red, yellow plus.
Yep, so you can discard a card to go up 1 on the tactical track.
Okay, I'm just going to get rid of that one and just go up to 7. Okay.
All right, come on, dice. Don't do me dirty. Let's do this.
I wore the... Oh, man, I'm so
Seriously?
Sorry. I am dead. I am so... Oh, you did so much better than me.
I was about to say I wouldn't count your chickens yet.
No, you... Oh, man.
All right, I have 3 speed.
I have 6.
Speed?
Yes, the lightning bolts.
All right. Then you have first strike.
And I go up by 1, or...
Yep.
Okay.
So I would not count that you're dead yet. I only I rolled 4 dice and I have 7 aim.
Wow, I have 3 aim. So
No, what are you sending me? What's your defense?
1, 2, 3. I have 4 defense.
All right, so I'm only going up by 3. Not great.
You're in the...
And what is your aim?
My aim is 3.
So you went up by 3. All right. Count up the damage. I think you might have taken me, or it's going to be real. I think you took me.
It's just 10 plus 4, 14.
8, 10. I have 14.
Okay.
Which means first strike takes it.
Oh. So, is that
Which means I die.
Oh. Wow.
I just needed 1. I needed 1. Like, this card I need this card to ramp. This was a card for ramping up, which is why I rolled all these blue. But even if this had just rolled a 2, I had you. I knew I had the advantage, but I had to just hit that last bullet. So you take the point.
I'll take it.
I'm dead. And then you just ADS, so you get the last point. Would you like to move and take your last point?
Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah. So after that, then yeah, I was going to sprint through the flag, capturing it along the way, and then I was then going to take the defensive position at the end.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. And this is one of the maps. How many maps are in the core set?
So the funny thing is, this map was originally for the demo. We weren't going to be this map because this map is abstracted. This is the map that we actually just announced that's going into the airdrop to all the backers.
Okay.
So anyone who's backing as part of the live campaign, it will still be offered in the Pledge Manager, but not for free.
Okay.
Anybody who's backing right now gets this in airdrop. And then each of the core boxes has 2 maps in it, which we just announced. So so that makes your collectors has 4 maps right there.
Wow.
Plus this. So if you're a Kickstarter, you're at 5. There's maps, and then other things have maps. I think all total there's 6, 7, 8 maps, somewhere around there.
Holy cow.
So one thing I wanted to point out, obviously we talked about the airstrikes, but the thing that you asked me about, these.
Okay. The rapid and the...
Yeah. So this is the badge system. It's not implemented the same way the weapon attachments aren't implemented in this system, where you can actually modify your weapons. But what these is there are more advanced combat cards.
Okay.
And at the start of the round, after you choose your weapon and your operator combo, you then can customize your combat deck, your 15-card combat deck, using cards that match these. So I can put in 1 power 3 rapid, or I can put in 3 1 rapids. I can customize my particular loadout in my combat using those combinations.
That's really cool. So, like, in Magic the Gathering or other deck builders, you're sort of forming your own deck before you start playing.
Correct.
That is really cool. I like that.
And you're restricted. You build a 15-card deck. Now, it could end up, if the math worked out, it could be mostly these, but most likely you will have to seed in some of these more basic cards as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that allows you, so you'll be able, in the end, when everything's said and done, you'll be able to get your operator, pick your weapon, that combo, that badge from those will allow you to customize your loadout, and then the attachments will then allow you to customize your weapon further.
Wow. That's all cool. I mean, my mind is a little blown right now. Like, I was swimming with the advanced roles, and now with this extra stuff, I'm like, I see the potential here with how deep this game can really go. You know what I mean? So that's really cool. And the kill streaks too. I saw like there's airstrikes. So I'm assuming that as you kill the enemy, you go up the kill streak board, and then you can turn those in for
and
rewards.
Spend them. So for me, I could have, if I had 3 kills, I could have called in this airstrike.
Okay.
As an action. You could have called in the RCXD as an action. But yeah, that allows you to spend those kill streak points towards kill streaks. And the kill streak is something else you can swap out when you respawn. If you're like, I'm gonna swap out to a different kill streak, those are things you can swap out for as well. But you're only ever going to be carrying one at a time.
Wow.
The free mini that we do that you can still purchase as an add-on, the K9 unit is one of the potential kill streaks that can be added to the game as well. Juggernaut, who just got added, has his own kill streak card. So there's a lot of different kill streaks that'll be added over time as well.
That's awesome. So I have to say thank you, first of all, for taking me through this demo and spending as much time as you did one-on-one. That's really kind. Like, just this one map alone kind of blew me away. Like, at first I was looking at him, this is a rather small map, but then like as we started playing, and it became knowing that I know that he knows that I know that I'm going to go here, and he's only used too many, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a mind game, and when you take that into account, with even though it's a quote-unquote small map, it's not really small when you're thinking about it from those terms. So there's a lot here, and
this is a pretty tight map. I know the final version of this one will get a few extra nodes, but because this map was always intended for 2 players, I have played 4 on it, and it works fine. It's just then I definitely recommend don't use the recruits.
It's more bloody. Jeez.
Right. It is definitely a lot more bloody when you've got 4 people. I know, I believe Play the Game HQ, they did a 4-player on this map, and it was crazy.
Well, that's crazy. Was there anything else that you wanted to plug or to announce or anything like that?
No, I mean, what is today? Is today Tuesday?
Yes, today is
so
Tuesday.
I mean, as a reminder, tomorrow we'll be announcing the next drop in the airdrop promo box for all the backers.
Okay.
And then later this week will be the big reveal of who the mystery operator is going into that promo box.
Cool.
I hate that we had to sit on that. But we got our final clearance that Activision cleared us this morning to finally say it. That's down to, like most things with Activision, down to the wire.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll get to you. And I'm like, yes, you're cleared. You're cleared.
Now, you both developed and published this, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. At least you didn't have to deal with the developer as well, in addition to Activision telling you what you
can. So we had Brian Pope and Benjamin Pope, who are also here on staff with us.
Okay.
They are the designers, and then we did the development alongside them in-house. So everything's been in-house, and the cool thing about this game is it was never anything else. We got the license first, and then started designing a game around the Call of Duty experience. Nothing here was something we already had laying around. This wasn't a reskin. This was, from the ground up, always Call of Duty.
Gotcha.
It would be actually, we had a discussion, it would be hard for us because we've integrated so much of how Call of Duty feels to us. It would be hard for us to divorce this game system from Call of Duty.
Right. No, I can see. I mean, so much went into it in terms of, it seems very thematic. To the actual video game, like there's a lot of similarities between them here. So it's, I guess it would be difficult to like apply this to something else.
It was hard at first. We went through, I think Brian has 25 other designs that we threw out along the way. Because Call of Duty has a certain feeling to it. And that's why we ended up with this hidden pre-program. Because when you're running around on a map, you don't know where anyone is.
Right.
You're trying to anticipate where they're going to be and what they're going to do. And it's all about, like at the end of the day, yes, a dice roll is going to, and that RNG is going to be a factor here. But you know what? Things happen. Sometimes I twitch and I don't pull the trigger fast enough in the game, and it happens. But it's all about setting yourself up for the best possible position and get yourself ready. So when that firefight comes, you've given yourself as much advantage as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, it's fire those bullets. What happens, happens.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not terrible. You die, you come right back.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. There's no waiting 3 minutes to respawn or whatever it is.
Right.
I felt bad because I was really camping that flag, and the only way for you to go down was through the accountant over here, or into my ADS. So, like,
I mean, that still came down real close.
It did.
I mean, I was just this one being a 2 away from finishing you.
Yeah.
And this was though. Had you stepped back like that, I probably wouldn't have had a shot, and I would have been wishing that I had come around the other way. But since you stayed in position, I was like, I got this, and then my gun jammed up a little. I twitched. Twitched.
It's all that sand. It's all. That's awesome. Was there any talk of, I guess it would be difficult with a hidden movement game, but was there any talk for like a solo mode or co-op or anything like that? Or would it be too difficult to apply something?
Well, so yes and no. We always planned on doing a campaign eventually. In fact, it wasn't something planned for this initial release. To do and this is a full cooperative campaign, story-based sort of thing. And that will come down the road. But, fans talked a lot on the Kickstarter and they wanted solo mode. And I actually, 2 days before the Kickstarter, I had sat down with David Turksey. Everybody knows you want a solo mode, you go to Turksey. And he's done work for us before. And he's one of the very few people in this industry that I had actually let in on this secret 2 years ago. And so he'd always been bothering me. Let me look at it. So him and I played a couple games. And at the end, he said it can't be done. He's like, you can't make a solo mode without going down some sort of story-driven thing.
I see.
And he looked at what we had done, and he goes, well, this is the way I would have to do it. He's like, because trying to just emulate a player across the table, so much of it lives in the player's heads, and it's about emotions and gut feelings.
Right.
He's like, I can't replicate that without like this complex, basically building a computer out of cards. He's like, that wouldn't be fun. It would take 20 minutes to take a single turn. First time ever, David Turksey turned me down. He was like, I can't in good conscience do this. But so what we decided to do is we still knew people wanted solo, is we took the core of what we were planning for the campaign and we brought it over to the advanced recruits, which are now called the mercenaries bot. And that will have little solo challenges and scenarios, but they'll be episodic in nature. So they won't be this big storyline. They'll be, this is a scenario. Like I was working on the one this morning where you've got you're parachuting into this particular map, into the center, and there you've been given is the location of the guards and the patrols. So you know where they are. And so you're going to have to deal with them. And there's a card system for how they roll against you and all that. But you're trying to eliminate them before your actual high-profile target shows up. And you've got to be able to take them out before they get evacuated.
Interesting.
So it's going to be those sort of things where we'll have some that are like that. And those are nice because you can swap in different mercenaries as the high-profile target, and you can play around, you check that. But other ones that might just be, hey, here's your mission. You need to get in, try to avoid fights. You need to get the hard drive. Locate this hard drive and get it out. So we're gonna have solo setups like that, and some of those will be cooperative. They'll allow you to play, 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, but they won't be the whole overarching campaign mode that we're looking at doing later.
They'll be like one shots.
Right. They'll be replayable one shots.
Okay. Yeah, I can see how challenging that would be because it's like trying to balance it. If it's procedurally generated or randomly generated, you also have to worry about balance and your one playthrough may be vastly different than the next. So
right. Well, even this one where it's basically a speed run, right? This intro scenario 0 is basically a speed run. Even that I found each time I played it, it's felt very different, even though I'm setting up the starting positions of the particular enemies. Now they all have different random things that happen for them.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels greatly different. And sometimes I speed run and I take four of them out around. And other times I get my butt handed to me in one turn.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. I think I've only taken in this particular intro. I think I've only taken out the actual end target 2 out of 6 plays so far.
Wow.
It's managed to evade me the other times. Because it also keeps, every time you have to defeat it multiple times, that person.
Oh, okay.
And then it pops to another place on the board.
I see.
But the timer is still going.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, right.
So
there is, in Modern Warfare 3, the video game, there's a holdout mode where for wave 1, if you defeat it with your friends, you earn points, and then you can spend those points to buy better guns, stuff. Is there going to be anything like that, like a last stand mode?
That's the sort of stuff we'd work into the campaign mode.
The campaign, okay.
Whereas here, for the solo, limited co-op, we just want the episodic. They're one-offs.
Okay.
Because in addition to, we were playing a modified domination here, which isn't even the final domination, but there is capture the flag in the game. There's hardpoint. There's team deathmatch. Like, there's so many other game modes that you can play once you have all the content. So initially you've got, just kill each other, or you can play a capture the flag or a domination mode.
Right.
And the flag would move around. But once you combine the box, you've now got 4-player free-for-all. You've got 4-player deathmatch.
Mm-hmm.
You've got team-based. You've also got 3v1, which is actually one of my favorite ways to play it, me versus 3 other people. But you've got all these different modes that we can do. And the idea is that eventually we should be able to, any mode you can do in Call of Duty, we should eventually be able to put into this system.
That's cool. Okay.
And that was part of reason why we threw out so many of the earlier designs, because we're like, well, yeah, it works in this one, but it doesn't work for these 2 other modes.
Right.
And it took us a while with the new maps coming up with the points on the board that could work for any mode.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, the other designer, actually has all these custom programs he's written that actually runs all of this data and figures out for us what works in what modes, how do the dice, he can actually tell me, I could actually give him any card combination and any dice combination and give me the percentile chances of winning that victory, that thing. And so it allows us to balance it, but then also notice when something's overbalanced. Because the thing is, for a while, he actually had the game overbalanced to the point where I could look at your dice pool and your card, and we didn't have to roll it. I could tell you who'd win almost every time. And I was like, and he's like, well, but, you've got the advantage. And I'm like, that's not fun.
Right.
That's just not fun. There's got to be those moments where I am at a complete disadvantage, and I pull it off. I put you down, and that's those are amazing gaming moments. Now, I don't want them to happen 50% of the time, but there should be, a 10, 12, 15, 20% chance that I pull that out. And so, but it allowed him to actually go in and go, okay, I'll tweak this, and see what happens. All right, great. Now we're sitting at 27% chance of victory. I'm like, all right, we're getting there,
Right.
So that was one of the advantages of having a guy who's, what he really does is video game programming stuff. So he was able to apply a lot of that logic into the design of this game.
That's cool.
So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for, spending all that time with me. I do appreciate it. And there's oh, no problem. So there's about, it looks like 7 or 8 days left on the Kickstarter, possibly 6.
I think it's 6 now.
6. And you've more than doubled your funding. So it's definitely going to be a thing, which is awesome.
If anybody's worried, because obviously we had bigger expectations. It's Call of Duty.
Yeah, right.
I could go into issues there, but it is what it is. But we've discussed it, and we absolutely, some people might have thought, well, they might pull the plug here. We're not pulling the plug.
That's
We're
awesome.
going forward. We're going to make this game. People will play it. They'll love it. We believe in the game, and that's really what it came down to. We were like, look, so maybe Kickstarter is not the exact right audience for this, right? We're going to give those who support us as much as we possibly can, and we're going to launch a great retail because we believe in this product. And that's what it really came down to, why we decided we were going to move forward. Because obviously there were talk early on about, it's doing okay, but it's not meeting our expectation or Activision's expectation. But we decided it was important to see this through. And the game will come out, and I think some people will be sad they missed out on the freebies.
Well, yeah, those people, you love your minis.
But I will say, none of those freebies are exclusive.
Right.
They just won't be freebies.
They won't be free anymore. Yeah. So
the only thing that's exclusive to the Kickstarter backers is the weapon skin that we will get to unveil later for the actual video game. That will only come to the Kickstarter backers.
So you're actually implementing some rewards for the video game as well?
Yep.
Okay, now is that gonna...
And there might be minor ones in the retail edition, but they won't be that weapon skin.
Gotcha. Is that going to be in the newer Modern Warfare games that were like the remastered versions? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
you. I had a fun time with this. I really did.
I'm glad.
And
as a reminder to anyone, although we played here on Tabletop Simulator, because I can use this version, we couldn't make this one public, but on the Kickstarter is a link to the Tabletopia version. Mm-hmm. It works just as well, ish. It works within the limits of Tabletopia.
Yes, that's a nice way of putting it.
It's the exact same game as what I had set up here.
But you can only flip tables on Tabletop Simulator, so
Very true. Also, I get annoyed with Tabletopia. At least lets me sit that 15 degrees so I can rotate that way. Yes. Whereas Tabletopia, if you want to do that, you have to do the free rotate where you hold down Control or Shift and move your mouse and hope that it's going the right direction.
Yeah. I love it.
So.
Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And I'll keep in touch if that's okay with you.
Yep.
All right. Well, have a good one. Take
care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.